Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the weekly gaming news show, the show where I talk about the latest news in the gaming industry. Today's show is for January 1st until January 7th. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If it's your first time here, subscribe to see more videos like this. There's a lot to get into today, so let's get into the news. So Nintendo plans to sell 37 million Switches by the end of the 2019 fiscal year. In an interview with a Japanese newspaper, the president of Nintendo, Tatsumi Kimishima, spoke to them and said that he believes that by the end of the fiscal year of 2019, the Nintendo Switch will have sold 37 million units. So let's take a look at what's going on right now. They have sold about 10 million units, and they will most likely surpass the Wii U's total lifetime sale of 14 million units by the end of this fiscal year at the end of March. Then in 2018, Nintendo plans to sell about 20 million Nintendo Switch units, and then at the end of the fiscal year of 2019, all the way up to 37 million Nintendo Switch units in total. Now this makes complete sense. The Nintendo Switch has been on fire, selling like hotcakes, and it's even surpassed the #1 selling console of all time, PlayStation 2, first year sales in Japan. If you think about it, the Nintendo Switch is extremely popular. Everyone talks about it, lots of people want it, and it's available. I made a video about the Nintendo Switch and why it's doing so well and how it's doing even better than the Nintendo Wii currently right at launch. And I think one of the big reasons is that it is readily available. I think the Nintendo Wii personally was more popular than the Nintendo Switch. I think a lot more mainstream people, a lot more people who knew nothing about video games knew about it, but the big problem was they couldn't get their hands on it. Whereas the Nintendo Switch, a lot of people know about it, although I think a lot less than people who knew about the Nintendo Wii at launch. But the big difference is you can go into a store right now and you can pick one up. So the supply is there, whereas with the Nintendo Wii, the supply wasn't there. My big question is, will they be able to sell as much as the Nintendo Wii? But we'll see. But 37 million units by the end of fiscal year 2019 would be huge for the Nintendo Switch. Sticking on the Nintendo Switch sales front, the Nintendo Switch in the United States is now the fastest selling home console of all time, selling 4.8 million units. This even has surpassed the PlayStation 2, which was the best console of all time. This is just more credible news for the Switch, and the sales numbers are crazy. It sells like hotcakes and everybody wants one right now. So this is sort of an interesting story. Microsoft has pulled one of their ads. It's an Xbox One ad featuring PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Basically, it's an Xbox One with grass on the Xbox One and then a player coming out of it. Redditor Maxter created a very similar image to this ad and now claims that this ad was copied, and Microsoft is investigating it. They're looking into it and they are going to see whether the ad was copied or not. But I'll put both ads up here on the screen and you'll be able to tell for yourself that they are very similar, and it does look like Microsoft did copy it. And it's just something I don't know how this would have gone through all of the protocols before being released out to the public. So as we know, back in October 2017, the Kinect had stopped production and it was pretty much the end and the death of the Kinect. But now it is officially dead because Microsoft has announced that they will stop making the adapter that allows you to connect your Xbox One X and your Xbox One S with the Kinect. This doesn't come as a surprise because, as we know, like I said, it stopped production back in October. But if you want to get a Kinect and an adapter, you better get one now because scalpers will probably pick them up and then the prices of them will skyrocket since you won't be able to get it anymore. So if you're like me on the N64, you love the kart racing games. There was Mario Kart 64 and there was Diddy Kong 64. Those were the two main ones that everybody played. And I love Mario Kart, but on the 64, I like Diddy Kong Racer better. I thought it was more fun. I loved the variety of it with the planes and the boats and everything. It was just an amazing game. And if you remember back last year, YouTuber CryzenX made an HD remake in the Unreal Engine of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And now this YouTuber has done the same thing with Diddy Kong Racing, and it looks absolutely amazing. Now, as you know, Nintendo doesn't own the Rare license anymore, so they can't really release another Diddy Kong Racing on the Switch, but it would be awesome if the Xbox got Diddy Kong Racing, because we know they released the Rare Replay, and I believe they own the license for Rare, so it'd be so cool to get that kart racing game on the Xbox One. I know I'd pick it up. I absolutely loved it, but just go take a look at that YouTube video of the Unreal Engine remake and just see how beautiful it looks. So if you know Platinum Games, you know that they make amazing action, outlandish games that are really fun to play. They've released things like Nier Automata, the Bayonetta series, Vanquish, all amazing games, but they've released these games under major publishers. Now, the co-founder of Platinum Games, Atsushi Inaba, came out and said that they will be releasing 2 new IPs under their own name, not through a major publisher. And he talked about the process of releasing this game. So basically the company received about 70 different designs. They went through them all and they're now focusing on 2 new designs. And these 2 new designs will possibly be the new IPs that Platinum Games will be releasing. So this is really awesome to hear, because to me it seems like if Platinum Games can control it all and publish it themselves, they'll be able to release more games. They may not be as high quality because they won't have as much money to make the games, but they'll still be definitely fun, awesome games, because Platinum Games makes amazing, fun, action, outlandish games. This is just great news, so look for those 2 new IPs to be announced, and I'm really excited to see exactly what they will be. So if you're like me, you play Time Splitters on the PS2 and the Xbox, and you absolutely love that game. Well, in 2013 there was a volunteer group that was going to make a remaster of this game, and there's been a lot of things that have been slowing it down, and a lot of people thought it wasn't going to happen, but luckily it's been announced that in 2017 it was ported over to the Unreal Engine, and the whole game had to be built from its core back up, and it's been announced now that they will continue to work on it and the game will be coming out. Definitely for PC, but hopefully there will be console ports as well in the future. So Steve Butts of IGN has been fired from his job due to misconduct. If you remember a few months ago, Vincent Giannito was also fired, and this was due to misconduct as well. And during that investigation, Steve's name was brought up, and now the investigation is over and they have let him go from IGN. So Burnout Paradise HD, the open world Burnout game that came out in 2009, is getting the remake, and it is getting released on March 16th, 2018, which is only a few months away, just around the corner, according to a Japanese retailer's leak. This is awesome. I absolutely loved Burnout Paradise, and I'm really excited to see the HD remake of it, and I will definitely be picking it up when it comes out. So good news for the PSVR, the total library of games will increase to about 280 titles by the end of 2018. Right now there are 150 games, and there's lots of good games out there, but there isn't really that killer title, or at least I haven't experienced that killer title yet. Although I do love VR, I love the technology, and I think that it is awesome. I do not think it's a gimmick, and I'm excited to hear that these games will be coming out, because I'm looking just for more games to play on it, because I love experiencing games in VR. The PlayStation VR sold over 2 million units worldwide, so it's definitely doing pretty good for a brand new device coming out, and for the price and everything of it. So it's good to hear that PlayStation is investing in it, and PlayStation will continue to release games for it. So my cheap/free game of the week is The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. It is a free game with Games with Gold, but it is also $14.99, so it's under $20 if you want to purchase it. And basically, it is a Diablo type of game where you have an overhead view. It's an action RPG, has a good story that goes along with it, and you go around upgrading your character, upgrading his gear, upgrading his power and his weapons. And it is just an overall fun game. I played a few hours into it, and I'm enjoying it so far. The only thing I have to complain about it right now is the user interface. I find it kind of hard to navigate through, and I've been reading that even people who have played the older Van Helsing games are finding this user interface not great. But right now, I would say definitely check it out if you have Games with Gold, download for free, and maybe check out a demo or check out a video if you don't have Games with Gold and you're thinking about purchasing it and picking it up for $14.99. So that's your news for January 1st until January 7th. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next video.